Behind this door is the one thing that we get the most questions about concerning our van, our cassette toilet. When you're married and you travel in an RV like this, then you have separate chores that you do. For me, I handle most of the things outside. And while I'm doing that and we're leaving a place, Lynn usually handles the things that are on the inside. It's just the way we do things. In one of our recent videos, you probably saw that I hurt my back and I was unable to do the things I normally do outside. The one thing that I did do on that trip was empty the cassette toilet, but Lynn said, I really need to learn how to do that. So, if you're wondering, should you get one of these if you're a lady? Can you handle it? Is it easier than a sewer hose and dumping it at a dump station? Well, today, I'm gonna let Lynn actually empty our toilet, and it's pretty full, and then she's going to tell you what she thinks about it. Thanks for being here with us. We're Van Trekking Lifestyle. Let's get this crappy job done. So I'll follow her as she does this, and we'll talk to Lynn about it when we're finished and find out what she thinks about this crappy job. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is just press both of those buttons and open up the cassette locker. Pull it open. There you go. All right. Underneath you see the blue handle. Pull up on that. Okay. And as you pull up, pull it out. Okay. Get it almost all the way out. Now wait a minute. When it gets to right there, make sure anytime you open it, make sure that is closed. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, so you just want to lift it and kind of let gravity take it down to the ground. Okay. That's heavy. Okay. And on the bottom, the very bottom down there, there's a handle you can pull up. Pull that up. Yes. There you go. Now let's roll that into the... Now put the handle back down. Something that's really good to do before you put it in the toilet is make sure the toilet itself will flush. All right. Pull it straight up. Okay, and now take the blue top off. And what I normally do with it is I'll just sit it up on top of the rail right there. Okay. Now, before you pick it up, let me show you one more thing. You're going to hold it with one hand right there. Yep. And then see that blue button down there? That's what you're going to press once you get it over the commode that will keep it from gurgling. It'll let all of it come out. So now you just want to pick it up. And I will not show this, but the toilet should flush on its own when it fills up. And one other thing you have to do sometimes is pick it back up and then turn it over so that the spout is upside down there so you can get all of it out. Well, that'll look like that. There you go, like that. Rotate it counterclockwise. There you go. Got it all out. Now flush the toilet one more time. Put the lid back on. Close that. Okay, now just carry it out to the van. So now go back out to the van. And you put it in and then push it until it locks in place. That's it. Close the door. Okay, your thoughts?
Tuh Frigging-Duh. It wasn't bad at all. I don't know why everybody's so grossed out about it. It's a little brown water, but we don't usually poop in our cassette toilet. So
unless you have to.
Unless you have to. It wasn't a big deal at all.
Yeah.
A lot of it is, I think you should empty it before it gets too full.
Okay. It was pretty full this time, so it was pretty heavy, but it wasn't unmanageable for you, right?
Yeah. Gotta go wash my hands.
Okay, all right. She did really well for the first time. It's not that difficult to do. It's something that, you just get used to. And I know some of you are going to say, wow, you should have had her wear gloves and you should have done that. What I've learned the hard way is that I kind of cross-contaminate the gloves anyway. It's really, really hard to get the gloves in a place. It's not really nasty to begin with, so I use them if things are messy. But most of the time, what I'll do is exactly what she did. I'll take it in, I'll do everything that she just did, I'll put it back, and then I'll wash my hands really, really well, and then I'll use some alcohol cleaner inside to completely clean my hands, and I don't worry about anything then. Don't do as we do though. If you think you need to use gloves to keep from cramping through a screen door, by all means, use your gloves. That was cool, wasn't it? So one final thing we have to do, I usually do it from the outside, but you can do it from the inside as well, is you want to put about 3 or 4 ounces of the TST Max is what we use into the toilet. And that'll keep the smell down. And you notice there wasn't that much smell,
No,
right?
it wasn't. It wasn't bad at all. Not half as bad as I thought it would be.
And we've gone through experiment after experiment of what works best. And, you know, based upon it being just 5 gallons, you could probably, following the instructions, put about half of an ounce in there. But what we usually do is about 2 ounces of the TST Max, and there's no smell. And if you don't find something for you that works for you, there is a little bit more of an odor with the cassette toilet.
Since we're talking about the bathroom and odors in the bathroom, this is one of the things that I've used. I use it in the Revel, and I also use it in here, and it's just like, it's a gain scent, and it just like clips on. I'll show you where I put it in the bathroom, but I actually use both of these in the bathroom just to help it smell nice and fresh. Okay, they're actually for your car, and I get them in the car section at Walmart, and you just click them on the back, and that opens up this little area. And I stick one right up here, and it stays there all the time. And then I'll put one down here at our soap dispenser. Makes it smell nice and fresh.
There are a few other questions we get about this cassette toilet all the time. One of them is, how do you know when it's full? Well, there's an indicator down here, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it's pretty famous for going from empty to full with just 1 P. It's not something you can trust. If you really need to know, you can look inside and see the water level. And that way you kind of know. But like anything, you're going to learn your habits, and you're going to learn when it gets full just based upon the number of days that have gone by. And that's kind of what Lynn and I do. We'll typically go 2 days, and then we find a place to empty. You know, we're at a campground here. There is a dump station, and we could use that. There are vault toilets, and we can use those. And there are public restrooms, and you've seen us use those as well. If we're going by someplace and it looks convenient and it's only been a day, we'll stop and do the empty thing, because for me, it takes me less than 2 minutes to go in, do the thing, come back and put it back in and keep going. So, and usually I'll just go ahead and use the bathroom when I'm in there anyways. The other question we get is, what do you have to put in there to keep it from smelling and to dissolve the toilet paper? Well, unlike a lot of people, we do use RV toilet paper. We use the Scott brand when we can, and we like that. It feels the closest to what we use at home, and that's the kind that we like. Now, as far as the additives that you put inside, our friend James at the Fit RV recently did a blog post about all the different methods of doing that, and it's a really informative article, and I'll put a link down below so you guys can go read that as well. But, you know, basically, for your own person, you just need to find something that when you put it in, it dissolves what's there, and it allows you to not smell anything later. One final thing that folks ask us a lot is, how do you clean it? Well, whenever you're at a dump station, you can stick the little hose in there and just flush it out like crazy, and it works really well. But what I'll do is, when I'm home, it actually comes apart. So you can take it apart and use a spray washer to really, really clean every little nick and cranny in it, and it works out well. And that's a real big advantage over an RV black tank, because, you know, those are really, really infamous for not being able to get completely clean. And you usually have to hire a service to come in and do that. So what we do is rinse it really, really well, use it for a trip, and then we'll clean it out. And rinse it really, really well, and then we'll clean it out. And if it gets to where it's just not able to be clean, for less than a couple $100, you can buy another one. Well, that'll do it for this little tip video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. My name is Owen. This is Van Trekking Lifestyle. And one of the things I will encourage you, if you're a husband and your wife travels with you, you know how you like to protect them and you like to do everything for them. What I've learned through this experience is protecting them means preparing them for a day that you may not be able to do what you usually do. So for me, I'm making a concerted effort to teach Lynn everything she needs to know to be able to operate our Ekko if something ever happens to me. Until we see you again next week, thanks for being with us. Happy Tales.